Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the show. It is Christmas Eve for those who celebrate. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas tomorrow. And it is the eve of the Baltimore Ravens playing football, 3 games in 10 days. Wow. Hendo,
Yes,
how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm happy. Off work tomorrow. We get some football. It's outstanding. How are you?
I am doing great. I am. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good game tomorrow. And speaking of which, Hendo and I will be here celebrating not just Christmas. We're going to be live streaming the game, so you don't want to miss it. So make sure that you come by tomorrow and join us for the live show, live play-by-play. But for tonight, we want to give you a quick preview, right, of what we think is going to happen or what we think needs to happen tomorrow for the Ravens to come out with the W, right? A lot's at stake here for the Ravens. We are trying to win out and hoping and praying the Steelers lose at least one so that we can become and regain the Kings of the North title. Do you think it's going to happen, Hendo?
Most definitely. And we should know the status by kickoff because the Kansas City Chiefs play the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1. So by the time that game is over, we will know if the Steelers have lost the game and we are in total control of the AFC North, or if we have to wait for week 18 when they play the Cincinnati Bengals. So we should know. We'll know.
All right. So a lot is, at stake tomorrow. Stakes are very high. Ravens need the win. Let's talk about this game. Before we begin, want to say hello. I see you, RTV, joining in from LA. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Lenny, thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Is there, okay, I want to make sure there's no back feed or like feedback or whatever coming through the audio. It sounds okay to me. How's it on your end?
I don't have any issues.
Awesome. Let's keep going. Ravens take on the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are sitting at 9-6. And before we begin, just want to kind of go over the injury report for the Ravens and how that could possibly impact tomorrow's game. So we have Nelson Aguilar out, concussion. Jalen Armour Davis is out as well. Perhaps I think the most significant injury or the most significant loss that we see on the list tomorrow is Justice Hill.
Correct.
And certainly prayers up to him. Has anyone heard of an update or status as to how he's doing? I found it odd that no one asked about Justice's status at the presser
He's
this
out.
past week.
He's not playing.
Yeah, I know he's not playing. I just want to know how he's doing. Like, is he, how, because that was, for me, it was very scary to see him motionless on the ground and then a series of extended commercials. He did get up, walk on his own. Very pleased to see that. That's, that was very comforting. But I just wanted to know if there's an update. Not that he's playing, but just how he's doing.
The reporters should be a little more concerned about the players
Hello.
and their well-being. They don't care. It's a job for them. They don't care.
Yeah. So I think that one is going to be a tough loss for us because Justice Hill has been very important to this Ravens offensive success. So I think that's going to be a pretty tough, tough loss for us. But that just means, honestly, that we have some players that need to step up. We do. So we're going to get into it. Daniel, thank you for being here. And happy birthday, Daniel. Thank you for celebrating and spending a little bit of your birthday with us. Happy birthday to you. Yes. Kamal Porter said, the Ravens, let's go. And let's go Chiefs. Didn't think I'd ever have to say that, but it's true. We need the Chiefs to take care of business tomorrow against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don Royal, good evening. Thanks for being here. Michael Vick, the evolution of the black QB is terrible. He talks to everyone except Lamar. Yeah. I mean, we talked about the QB situation last night. We
Mhm.
might have to come back and talk about it a little bit more later in the week if I can convince Hendo to come on back. We'll see. But yeah, it's something serious. Something serious that the media is trying to advance about the quarterback. Hey there, Philip. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Yes, prayers for
Yep.
justice. For sure. Philip said, Keaton Mitchell is coming in now. All right, Mitchell is active. We're going to need some help. Let's start with the strength of the Texans. For me, I think the strength of the Texans has been their defense. And this is a team who right now is overall defense number 9 in the league, pass defense number 6, and rushing defense number 11. So by all accounts, we're looking at a relatively top 10 defense for the
Right.
most part. And going up against this offensive line, let's talk about it. Let's have a look at the depth chart for the Texans. Got a couple players on this depth chart for the defense who we really need to keep our eyes on. This is a team, Hendo, that with Will Anderson, he's got 10 and a half sacks. And as a team total, they have 46 sacks. And they also have 19 interceptions and 11 forced fumbles. This is a team that does not have a problem with getting after the quarterback. What are your thoughts about this defense going against our offense?
Well, I think listen, they have some key pieces. Will Anderson Jr. is the reigning defensive rookie of the year. He can get after it. Then they added Daniil Hunter in the offseason, which I'll say it again. I wanted the Ravens to pick up a couple seasons ago. He's a complete monster. But in the defensive backfield, they have Darryl Stingley Jr., who was not as heralded as Sauce Gardner. But to me, I personally think that he's much better. I think Stingley is one of the underrated players because they're in Houston. They don't get a lot of pub. They're not as good as they were last year collectively.
Hmm.
But D'Amico Ryans is a former defensive coordinator, and he knows what he's doing. Now, we did beat up on him twice last year. So that bodes well for us. It's just how well can our offensive line hold up? And Jalen Petrie, the safety, he's pretty decent himself. So they have pieces all around. It's just that, well, our offensive line will Todd Monken be able to scheme things up and not use those long developing plays and take, you know, kind of take advantage of the quick game, take advantage of screens. I know that Justice Hill isn't here, so we may have to switch things up a little bit. It's dependent upon how much we use Keaton Mitchell on offense. Now, just because he's active, it doesn't mean he's going to play running back. He may get a couple special team snaps here and there. We just don't know what they're going to do. So maybe some of this falls on Rasheen Ali. I don't know. But defensively, they have a really good team.
For sure. For sure. They do. And
What's up, Mike?
I know I want to take 2.5. I have to go. Let me get when you have amazingness amongst you, you have to stop for a second and recognize. So I have to pause for a minute and we'll come right back to we'll pick right back up. We'll pick up right where we left off in about 2 seconds. I want to say a warm welcome and hello there to Open Mic with OTR Mike. It's been a minute and we certainly do miss you. I hope to see you back very, very soon. We miss your content, but I hope all is well with you and your family. So thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been like 10 minutes. It ain't been a minute, it's been like 10
It's
minutes.
been
I'm
like
gonna hit him.
10 minutes. Okay.
I'm gonna hit him with the Martin. You can't call nobody.
Ooh, I wasn't trying to go there, but I mean, hey,
We're
if
gonna
you
let it go. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna let
we're
it go.
gonna let it go. See, world class, you come in here just kicking up dust. Normally, we reserve that for Jay the Six, who comes in starting things. But Jay the Six, I think he came by and he said, "'Tis Ravens Eve." He didn't say anything about Oway.
He
See,
will. He will.
he
I
will.
have faith in my guy.
Yeah, it's not going to be too much longer before he starts going there. But for you, world class. That's all I have to say. But let's go back to the defense going against our offense. Our offensive line. Falele is questionable? Does that in any way, I am going to still ask the question anyhow, does that in any way give you either concern or optimism either way for the guard position?
I mean, I don't feel anything. Like, I'm very indifferent about this. I mean, you don't want a player to be hurt. You don't want a player to get hurt. But if it would have given an opportunity for possibly Ben Cleveland to come in and showcase what he has, that would have been a positive. But Falele's playing. I even think if he's hurt, he's going to play just because he doesn't want to lose his spot. So he's going to play.
Hmm.
He's going to play through injury. So it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as he does his job.
Yeah. Take a comment or two really quickly. I absolutely agree with you. The Charm City Dawn, quick passes and misdirection runs should help this O-line. We're going to need the help against this defense. One thing we've seen about the Ravens is when we are facing a team that is defensively sound, we seem to struggle. And this defense, as Hendo mentioned, this defensive front, they're good, very good. So it's going to be incumbent upon Todd Monken to really know how to dial up short, quick, intermediate passes so that this offensive line does not, quote, get exposed. So I think that's exactly what it's going to take. Look who it is. It is lead commander. He says, "What up, folks? Thought I stopped by for a bit while I had a few minutes. Thank you for being here. Hope all is well with everyone." Hendo, did you get my famous t-shirt yet?
I did. Thank you. I really do appreciate that t-shirt. It was lovely. On the back of it, it said, "Last week we won our Super Bowl. Congratulations."
Oh, Lee Commander, that's not what he meant. He didn't mean that. But we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going with the stream.
It's the
But
biggest one they gonna have all year. What you mean?
don't get Lee Commander started. See, he was trying to be gracious and nice. That's what he was trying to do. Jason, good evening. Thanks for being here. How are you? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Philip says he'd rather, he'd rather have Makari.
Be benched.
Wait.
I mean, both of them. Both of them
Okay,
can be
so
benched.
all right. If you had your choice, Makari or trying to think of anybody else we could put in we could use instead of Makari, but slim
Some
pickings.
people want Voorhees back.
Okay, now that's a question. I don't think Voorhees is ready to go against a team like the Texans. He's not had what experience has he had really?
Bad experiences.
Jay the Six says, "See, I was trying to be civil for once in my life and just listen on the topics bestowed before us." But Will Anderson Jr. Well, that's enough of that comment. So moving on.
That was rude.
I'm just teasing. Has done more than Owe has done in his 4 years in the NFL. You're right, Hendo. That was rude of Jay the Six to bring that up. That wasn't right. But we do need to be concerned, or at least we need to be cautious as we pay attention to how the Ravens are going to handle this defense, because this is not a game that we can stand to lose. I'm sorry. To me, I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about it, but I can see us struggling against that defense. And is it going to be a situation, Hendo, and those in the chat, where you feel like Lamar Jackson is going to have to put the team on his back tomorrow in order for us to win?
No.
Okay.
Listen, stick to the formula. Run Derrick Henry, run him some more, play action pass, and play good defense. Formula simple.
But okay. Ahead.
Formula simple. That's it.
Yeah, but that's easy for you to say, but how often do we do that consistently?
But when we do it, we have great results. We are 7-0 when Derrick Henry rushes for 100 yards. 7-0.
That's right.
He has not had a touchdown in 4 games. I guarantee you they are going to make it a priority to get Derrick Henry in the end zone.
I don't know about that, Dre Too Tough. Voorhees did get a fair shake. He's always been injured. We drafted him injured. And then we waited for him to heal and get better. And then it's just, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Hendo? Did you think that we gave Voorhees a fair shake?
Yeah, I do. I do think he was put in an unenviable situation. Like he got a fair shot at the start and he struggled. But for me, the expectation of him coming out of college injured, missing his full rookie season, and then coming in off injured reserve and playing against professionals without having done anything else before, that expectation was a little bit too much. I don't think that was fair to him. But I thought he was given a fair opportunity to start and he didn't play well. They used the injury as an excuse not to embarrass him because he wasn't playing well. I mean, McCarr's not playing well. Falele is not playing well. It's not just a pick on him, but I don't think he's ready. I think he needs to get stronger. I think he needs to get acclimated to the speed of the NFL. He may be good down the line, but it's just
Yeah.
unfair to put that expectation on a first-year guy.
But that's what we do as the Ravens organization. He's not the only first year guy that said, hey, go out there and make it happen. That's what we do. So I guess I would say, well, that may be true, but you look at the history of the Ravens and how we use players and what we expect from them first year doesn't seem to be much different than, But yeah, Dre Too Tough, exactly. It can be very simple. Stick to the plan. And had we stuck to the plan last year in the AFC Championship, would we have had a different outcome? Probably. Probably. So while it's easy to say, yeah, it's just simple, it's easy, just stick to the plan, like run Derrick Henry. It's not hard, it's not that difficult. If you want to see offensive success, you utilize Derrick Henry and you rely on short, quick passes, screens, bubble screens, whatever you do. Okay. And hopefully we'll see Keaton Mitchell back. But we go out there and oftentimes against stronger defenses, we get cute. We try and get fancy, and then we see ourselves struggling. So that's kind of what I've noticed with the Ravens going against better defenses. Agnes, good evening. She said, has anyone noticed how the NFL channel has shown the game with the Steelers when they won, played all week long, but as soon as the Ravens win, it's crickets? Or did I miss something? Hendo, have you paid much attention to it?
No, I mean, I've known since inception that the NFL didn't like Baltimore. Paul Tagliabue, the former NFL commissioner,
Yeah.
when we tried to get when there was expansion and the Panthers and the Jaguars got their teams, Baltimore put their bid in. It's like, we are one of the founding franchises of the NFL. We should be one of the first in line to get a new team. Paul Tagliabue was like, yo, go build them all. Take that money, go build them all. So they tried to keep us out, and ever since we come back in, we've been slighted. I mean, I can go on and on about how over the last 15 years, the lack of home Monday night football games that we've had on TV, we don't get them. We go on the road.
Yeah.
We don't get the home games, but there were certain years when the Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars were like 3-win teams. They had 3 home Monday night football games and we had none. So they're always out to get us, but it's okay because there is a plan in place right now. It's a replication of 2011, 2012. AFC Championship game loss, heartbreaker. Next season in New Orleans, we come back strong and we're going to do our thing. We had some issues during that Super Bowl year, just like we have now. And we got it together towards the end of the year, and that's what we're doing now. So it is what it is. Once we become Super Bowl champions, they can't help but give us a home Monday night game.
Yeah, Lead Commander says this about our Ravens. See, Lead Commander, I'm welcoming you into the flock. Lead Commander says our Ravens should beat the Texans tomorrow because we, the Ravens, are a better team. I agree. We are a better team, and that leads me to the point here by James. This is a team, the Texans now, this is a team that has dealt with a lot of injuries. Their safety, Jimmy Ward, and most recently, on Sunday, wide receiver Tank Dell. Prayers up to him. And we'll talk a little bit about their offense, but I do expect Stephon Diggs now to step up and have a big game. Wait, oh, why not?
He's out for the year.
He's out for the year. Well, then who's going to step up and have a big game for them?
Deontay Johnson.
Realistically, who's going to step up?
Deontay Johnson.
I don't think Deontay is going to play, having just made his way over there to the
Who,
Texans like
who
earlier
else they
this
got?
morning, last night.
Okay, so Nico Collins. Like Nico Collins was leading the league in receiving like through the first 8 weeks of the season, and he missed 3 games and was still leading the league. But he's had
Hmm.
a hamstring injury. He's been, a little banged up, but you can't go in there with one good wide receiver now, Dalton Schultz. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think Deontay gets in the game just because of attrition, just because they don't have many guys to go in there
Hmm.
with experience.
Yeah. Um, Jay the Six says Lamar will have to pull out the video game moves he did at Louisville to escape the Texans pass rush. This is what I'm saying. Is Lamar going to have to put this team on his back? Their pass rush is very good because we all know the O line will be saloon doors and try to ruin Christmas. Uh, yeah. Well, I can't even argue with you on that because 'tis true. Our O line has been rather
Diabolical.
shaky. I'm going to say shaky. No penalties, says the Charm City Don. Yeah, we have to limit the penalties. That's been a constant issue with this team.
Mhm.
And Hendo, to what do you attribute the fact that now in week 17, we're still saying, oh, we need to limit penalties?
Leadership. But I do have to take my hat off. They only had 2 penalties against Pittsburgh.
Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if this can start something, if they're finally getting it together after all these weeks, but I hope so. But yes, we do have to limit the penalties because there's times where we get drives going and then all of a sudden we get a holding, a legal man downfield, or on defense, a pass interference that helps lead to touchdown. So if we can clean the penalties up, that is half the battle. Because as far as talent wise goes, we have much more talent than they do. We have the possible league MVP at quarterback. We have the second best running back in the league. We have arguably the best safety in the league
Mm.
and one of the top cornerbacks. Like, we have guys on a team that can take over. It's just if we play our hand, if we stick to what works. Because if the run doesn't work, that doesn't mean go away from it. If the Texans go up by 4 points, that doesn't mean just continue throwing the ball. So yeah, we cut down on the penalties and play our game. It's going to be a boring stream.
I don't know how boring it's going to be. I
I mean,
mean,
as far as the fact that we just gonna be like, never touchdown, never touchdown.
I
Lamar broke 6 tackles. Nice.
okay. Uh, we'll get into score predictions and how we think, this game is going to go in just a bit, but realistically, do you think it's going to be a snooze fest? Do you honestly think with a defense
Oh,
this good, I know their offense has struggled. They have injuries. Yes. They're 9-6. They're right underneath us. It's not like they're miles away. So their record is just almost neck and neck with us. You think it's going to be
and
a boring game, a snooze fest?
I mean, yes, I think we're gonna
Oh,
blow the doors off of them. Just listen, they struggled
mm,
against the Colts. They struggled against the Texans. They struggled against the Jaguars. Some of the worst teams in the league. Their defense got manhandled by some pretty bad teams. So
okay.
we come in here with a run game that's second in the NFL. We come in here with top 5 rated passer. We come in here with an ascending tight end. Like, I don't see them being a problem. As long as we stop the penalties and the dumb stuff, we putting up 40 points again on them.
Okay.
Easy.
And oh, okay. We'll get into score prediction. Yeah, they lost Tank Dell. Yeah, that's right, Damon. They did. Prayers up to him. And
Yes.
from my understanding, it's a horrific injury. You know, dislocated knee, torn ACL, structural damage,
MCL,
like MCL,
MCL,
structural
PCL.
damage. It just everything that you could imagine that I didn't even know was all in a knee, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for sure, prayers up to them for that. Dre Too Tough said, yeah, it's going to be a snooze fest, 38-17. We're going to talk about score predictions. What do the on offense for us? Hendo, who needs to really step up and have an excellent game? And as well, drop your comment in the chat. And if you are watching on replay, thank you. Who from the Ravens offense do you want to see have an amazing game tomorrow?
For me, the obvious choice would have to be Isaiah Likely. being that there's a possibility Zay Flowers doesn't play, that means we need another playmaker. So those are targets that can go elsewhere. And Isaiah likely caught the first touchdown last week, and then he caught another pass, I believe, but we pretty much didn't hear from him. So without Zay getting those targets, the other Zay can go downfield and do what he does. Like when we utilize him correctly, he is a very dangerous weapon. I know a lot of people love Mark Andrews, but Isaiah Likely has a lot more wiggle. Like when Isaiah Likely catches the ball, it's not just running a straight line. He can juke defenders, he can make moves, he can overpower people. So I think for me, it's going to be Isaiah Likely.
That's my player. I wanted Isaiah Likely to show up last game, and he did. I want Isaiah Likely to also show up this game. We already know, and I see it in the chat, Derrick Henry, Damon Watkins says he should have 200 yards. It'd be nice. It would be nice. It'd be lovely. I don't know if that's going to happen, though, but
he put up a ball.
He could.
He put up a ball 60 versus the Steelers, and the Steelers had a great run defense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't say he couldn't. I didn't say it couldn't happen. It'd be nice if it does. It would really be nice if it does. So we'll keep an eye on Derrick Henry's stats, because listen, he could he could rush for 200 yards. I don't know, but I think that I was going to say that too. Derrick Henry, 200 yards depends on how many carries we give to Keaton Mitchell.
Right.
That's the only thing that I think could be the deciding factor. Not that the talent that Derrick Henry is facing, no, but hey, if we're going to spread the ball a little bit more evenly and give some targets to Keaton, get him kind of ramped up, because we're going to need him going into the postseason, especially. We'll see what happens when Justice Hill can come back, from concussion protocol, but it might not be 200 yards just because we need to kind of give Keaton some carries. So all eyes are going to be on Keaton Mitchell tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Hendo. I think Likely needs to have a really good game, but yeah, Bateman. What about that? What do you think, Hendo? How do you think Bateman has been doing as of late, and what would you like to see from him tomorrow?
I mean, I think Bateman has been doing well. Listen, some mishaps here and there, but he makes up for them. He has doubled his touchdown output production from his career. He had 4 touchdowns catches coming into the season. He has 8 this year. So I think he and Lamar has found that connection. And if Zay isn't available, you have Bateman. And Bateman is, for all intents and purposes, the Baltimore Ravens' deep threat.
He is.
So you need that deep threat to keep the defense honest, so they don't stack the box, they don't play safeties low. It could be a breakout game for him. I thought he was close to 1,000 yards, but he's not. But I thought he was close because he's been playing that well.
I hope so, James. I hope Mitchell shines tomorrow. And I hope you're a wrong world class. I'm sorry, Nico is about to get Jamar Chase type numbers on Brandon Stevens. This defense, right, for the Ravens, our defense, we'll get into them. We'll talk about them in just a second. Wanted to kind of finish going through who needs to have a good game for the Ravens on offense. I see a lot of you saying that Keaton Mitchell needs to. Here's one right here. Tez Walker. What were you going to say, Hendo?
I was just going to say, I don't need Keaton Mitchell to have a good game. I just need him to be involved.
Yeah, I agree. I need him to be productive. I need him to show that he's fully healthy and he's ready to start that ramp up period. So World Class says, scratch that. I want Project Pat. Why do I keep pulling up comments from the World Class?
Hard R Ricard?
Why do you call that man that? Why do you call him that?
Go check out his old tweets.
I'm not.
You'll find out why.
I'm not gonna check him. Yeah, Bateman. He has been rather reliable, and he's dealing with an injury right now. So I think it was the foot injury. He was in a boot, but hey, he played. So this last week, it's tough on our guys, right? It's really tough. 3 games in a 10-day stretch. But guess what? I mean, other teams are out here going to be, they're doing the same thing too. So it's not just the Ravens. But there's an interesting name. Who needs to have a good game on offense before we move over to our defense? Ronnie Stanley. He has some making up to do from last game. Wouldn't you say? Would you agree with that, Hendo?
Not
Uh,
really. Yeah, he had one bad game,
That's why I said he has
and
some making up from last game.
I
From
mean,
last game.
he had one bad game.
But
I think he should get it together. If he gives up another strip sack, then we're gonna have to have a talk.
we talked about earlier in this game how very good this defensive front is. So it
But
could happen. My point is it could happen.
it could, but it happened early in the game, and he settled down after that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. For real, if Henry has a good game, we'll definitely win. All the other options all the other options will fall into place. Run game needs to dominate. Yeah, absolutely. Our run game always needs to dominate because that's our bread and butter. And even when you're going up against a good run defense in terms of our opposition, you still need to run the ball. You still need to incorporate that. So that too, lonely therapy. Good evening. Thanks for being here. Absolutely. We certainly need to stop with carrying the ball so carelessly.
Is that an album cover? It's nice.
I don't know. Is that an album cover? Hendo would like to know.
It's nice.
Damon Watkins says, Yolanda, you low-key doubted Bateman before the season. Laugh out loud, respectfully. I did not, but I appreciate your comment. If you go back and watch my videos from earlier in the season, I never doubted Bateman. What I said consistently was, I believe that Bateman is an excellent route runner. He can get open, no problem there. Speedster who can cause havoc down the field. My concern was always, would there be a connection between he and Lamar because the two did not practice together in the offseason? And I said, if the two of them can get on the same page, I expect Bateman to do well. So that's what I said before the season. So no, I didn't doubt him. I just wondered if there would be a connection because we really hadn't seen one here to 4 prior to this season. But we have seen it this season, so I'm pleased. KP, good evening. Thanks for being here. He says, I'm just hoping everyone gets healthy because 3 games in a short period of time is super crazy. Yeah, it's very, very crazy. Absolutely.
Bananas.
I just told you what I said, Damon. I was there and I'm the one that said it. I promise you. I know what I said though, but we're going to leave it at that. But if you got, yeah, you have to go back and watch. And in fact, it's a short. I can direct you to the short. It's a short entitled, I should look it up. Something about Bateman. So you don't even have to watch like all the streams. I clipped it and I put it into a short. And so I don't have that many shorts, but if you go back a few months, you'll see one of the shorts where I gave you my thoughts on Bateman. So no. But yeah, a Jackson 5 would be a great Christmas gift. It would be. It would be. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. Don't know it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, because someone said earlier, like we should be doing so good on offense that we just sit Lamar Jackson after the third quarter. Like that's where we should be. So
Thanks.
If that be the case, there won't be a Jackson 5. I mean, there could be a Jackson 5. I mean, we don't know. I need Bateman to get 700 receiving yards and he'll make my holiday. Hey, I'll have to look and see where he is in terms of receiving yards, Terry. How many does he have right now?
He has like 650, 680 or something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, it could happen tomorrow, especially like Hendo said, if Zay is not, if he's not a go for us tomorrow, it could be all eyes on Bateman tomorrow. All eyes. Hi, Andrew. I'm new to the channel. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. Make sure if you are new, please subscribe and join the family. A lot of great Ravens content coming your way this upcoming month of January and into February. No, I have to say it, right? This month, during the month of December, Hendo and I are doing a 31-day content creation challenge where every single day we're uploading a piece of content, whether it's a live stream, a video, or a short on our respective channels. But because you've gotten so used to seeing us more often, we can't just like leave you hanging in January, can we? No, we can't. So expect to see us because we have a lot more in store for you in the new year. Because our season, I'm saying it now, our season for the Ravens is not going to end until after we win the Super Bowl in February. So stick around and stay tuned. Yeah. Lamar needs a day off for real. Just run the ball, please. I love it. I love that. Thank you, Damon. Let's not run our quarterback tomorrow. Let's very, very few rushing yards for, for Lamar Jackson. That would be great.
Yes.
Absolutely. All eyes are going to be on Bateman. Let's switch gears though. Let's move over, right, to the Ravens defense going
Okay.
against this offense that has had its share of challenges. Hendo, when you look at our defense stacking up against their offense, what do you think?
I think we match up well. CJ Stroud is not the CJ Stroud of is not the CJ Stroud of last season. He looks nothing like the offensive rookie of the year. Like he struggled, he's thrown more picks, he's looked indecisive. His biggest issue has been his offensive line. They have let him down. Even Laramie Tunsil, who at one point in time could have been considered the second or third best left tackle in the game, he struggled with penalties. He struggled with injury. So they just aren't clicking. Stephon Diggs went out weeks ago. He's out for the season. Tank Dell just went down. Nico Collins is back and forth, iffy with the hamstring. I just think that we just match up too well with them. The only problem that they possibly could give us would be with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals, he knows the Ravens. When he gets going, they play well. But outside of him, there's no consistency there. But with our defense, since week 11, the Baltimore Ravens have been the most effective, giving up the least amount of net yards since week 11. They are first in third down conversion rate. So Zach Gore and his defense has really picked things up, especially since they put Darius Washington into the starting lineup. So I think we match up pretty well with them. I mean, even when last year, first game of the season, CJ came in, we taught him a lesson in the playoffs when he was on his hot streak.
Yeah.
We shut him down then as well. So I don't really have any worries or concerns about our defense going up against their offense.
I want to agree with you. I do. Brandon Stevens, you don't have any concerns.
What? Put Marlon on him.
I know that, but I'm just saying in the event we don't. In the event we don't. You don't have any concerns, right? About Brandon Stevens.
Put Arthur Millette
Nate Wiggins on him. Do that.
Put Arthur Millette on him. He came to save the Ravens this year.
I knew you were going to say that. I said, give him a minute. You know, the one who's going to come here and save these Ravens. Right. Jay the Six says, CJ may have a heavy heart tomorrow because of Tank Dell, so he might,
That really affected the team.
It did.
Like they started to get going against the Chiefs, and once Tank Dell went down, they just imploded. The kicker missed the extra point kick. Shout out to Tank Dell. Listen, everything that happened,
praying for you.
He held on to that touchdown.
I don't know how. Physically,
he was like, "This knee is like."
He did something, but when his knee is dislocating itself from the joint, right? Like he manages to hold on to that ball and come down with it for the touchdown. Like it just, again, Brandon Stevens is the weakest link. So of course he needs to step up, but it's not just Brandon Stevens' lonely therapy. How has our defense in the middle of the field been overall? Starting from Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson, Tavius, how have we been? So yes, while Brandon Stevens carries a set of issues all of his own, he's not the only thing, he's not the only person. It's not a thing. He's not the only person, right, that could use a little bit of increased production, right?
But he is the weakest link, though.
He is. I give him that. Yeah, I agree.
You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Ooh.
And he's bad, but he's not terrible.
Okay, then let me ask this, because this will kind of help me understand what you're thinking, as well as everyone in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being he's excellent, 1 being he's horrible, like horrible, as Hendo likes to say. What number do you give Brandon Stevens? Let me know in the chat, and I'm going to scroll past, and then I'll come back. I do see a comment. I'll come back to that in a minute. But give me a number. Hendo, what number do you give Brandon Stevens? And we're not just talking about one game or
I
two or
know.
three, the whole season. I'm just saying for the benefit of everyone in the chat, what number do you give him?
I mean, I know the chat gonna be hard on him, but
I
I'm gonna
just want
give
to
him.
know.
I'm gonna give him. I see. I'm gonna give him a 4. I give him
Four, a four is
okay. Go.
failing. A four is an F because if
I,
you were if you were in school and you got a 40% out of a 100, did you
yeah.
pass that class or
Okay.
that test?
You're failing, but you're close to being average. I think so. The reason I give him a 4 is because yes, it seems like every time you turn on tape or you're watching a game, he's giving up completions. But how many touchdowns does he give up? Yes, he does get a few pass interference penalties here and there at inopportune times. But how many touchdowns is he giving up?
Prod by Urban Closer said a 7.5. Okay, now I wasn't going to say
Yes,
that, but I mean, I appreciate your opinion. Thanks for weighing in. I
that's
would
love.
give him I'm going to give him a 6. At least a 6 is a D.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be really generous because tomorrow's Christmas, 'tis the season, right? It's the season of giving. So I'm being very generous. I probably could give Brandon Stevens a 5 and feel comfortable with that. But
You're right. It's
RT,
Christmas. 4.5.
wait, Black Eyes, -10, -100. Okay, world class. Now okay,
It's
world class is hilarious.
it's the
The world,
optics of it. It's
he's
the
no
optics.
Marcus Peters. He's not.
He's not. But Marcus Peters wasn't Marcus Peters when he left. After he
He sure
left.
wasn't. After that injury, yeah, he wasn't the same. So, Zach, a 0? Wow. Negative. Okay. All right. Okay.
He's about to turn it around.
Okay. All right. So then let's do this. For those of you who are here right now, Hendo and I will live stream either after the game or the next day. We haven't decided yet, but we are going to do a recap. And that's going to be the topic of discussion. I'm going to say, do you remember what number you gave Brandon Stevens
Merry Christmas.
on the preview show? Does your answer still remain the same after this game? So that means hopefully, wait. Do you still believe, like for Robert, my question would be, Robert, after tomorrow's game, let's see if Brandon Stevens improves. Do you still give him a 5? Hendo, tomorrow after the game, I want to know, do you still give him a 4.5?
Yeah, I do already.
Wait, you don't know that because you don't know if he's going to
One
improve.
game should not change your
No.
opinion of a season. What if he goes out there and gives up no passes, no receptions, gets 2 interceptions? Does he go up to a 7, 7.5 off of one game?
No, but he could certainly increase it, by like maybe a point and a half instead of a 4 or 4.5. Give him a 6, a 5.5, something.
Off of one game versus a team that literally has one wide receiver that they can count on.
They have one. Okay. All right. We're going to move on from Brandon Stevens. The middle of the field, defending the middle of the field, our linebackers. Hendo, how do you think we are going to do tomorrow?
It depends on the health of Dalton Schultz. If he's healthy, it may be even. You may scratch off even. He's gonna catch some. Like I think he can finesse if Roquan's guarding him. I think he can finesse that. I don't think he's going to go off, but the middle of the field has been our Achilles heel. It's like when they tried to find out what's the best way to get to space, it's the go no go zone, and that's the middle of the field for us.
Yeah,
They go, sure. We no go, and we don't. We just follow. We trail behind them through the middle of the field. But we've done a little bit better than we have earlier in the season. These things have improved. So, okay. I mean, they get paid too. Offensive players get paid too, and the rules and guidelines are structured for them to get catches and put up points. So, I mean,
yeah, for sure. Alfonso, good evening. Thanks for being here. He said Brandon Stevens is good for some cardio work. Okay, I come here for the laughs. You guys keep me laughing. I appreciate it. Realistic Washington fan, good evening. Welcome back. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. I don't know if League Commander is still in here, but you didn't leave him by himself out here in these Raven streets. Good evening to Miss Raven and Hendo, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. And congrats to your Commanders for taking care of your division rival. Congrats for taking care of those Eagles. Job well done. Don't you want to tell them congrats, Hendo?
Oh yeah. Congrats. Yeah, I said congrats earlier. And since he said Happy New Year, that must mean he doesn't want, or they don't want me to stream until next year. So this might be my last one.
No. That is not what he meant. Okay, let me take 2.5. Since Hendo has it a little bit confused, spam the chat with thumbs up emojis right now, no matter where you're watching, my channel or Hendo's, because he's a little confused. If you want him to stream more, if you can demonstrate that by spamming the chat right now with thumbs up. That's what we need, and then we'll get more of Hendo back in these YouTube streets in the upcoming year.
We go through this every day.
Because every day you forget that people want to see you. That's right, Chef Jew. And while you're spamming the chat with the thumbs up emojis, go ahead and do what Chef Jew just said. Hit the like button. It helps our channels a ton. It really does. But yeah, Roquan Smith is the only linebacker for real. And he's not been that great this year, Damon. In comparison to how he was last year. To me, someone said in one of our live streams, no one fears this Ravens defense. What team is afraid of us? When you saw Roquan last year, it just kind of invoked a little bit of fear, nervousness, trepidation, something. Right. What do you see this year?
I mean, ever since Roquan started taking Noom and shed a couple pounds, he's been a lot better. It takes a while for the Noom to get into your system, get the inches away, get your cardio back up. He'll be right. He'll be right by the playoffs.
I appreciate it. See, we got all of these. Look, now Hendo will no longer be confused. It's not a question anymore. It's not. See that? Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Y'all got 1 week. A week from today. A week from today.
I know. So I cannot believe we're running down, like we're coming to the end of the line. Like this is it. Just kidding. We'll be back because MDT says stream more. You got it. You asked for it. You are going to get it. We shall deliver. Look at this. See that? Thank you, Robert. Absolutely.
They can't have a football.
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to give them. Football talk. That's what we're doing. We're talking these here Ravens. No, but he's waking up. I believe he was eating too good. Okay. All right. See, now you're in agreement with Damon. Now you're in agreement with Hendo. Okay. And you don't. That's not it.
Ozempic,
But in terms of, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go there. What do you want to see from our edge rushers, our premier edge rushers?
Just Kyle Van Noy continue with the best season he's had in the NFL. Who'd have thought at 34 years old, he would continue to hit career highs in sacks. So we need him to be the leader of that edge group and do his thing. Can David Ojabo build on the momentum of him actually getting snaps? What's up, Cam? Of him actually getting snaps. Can he do a lot better? And is Owe ever going to show up for a game?
He has. He's shown up several games. In fact, he's shown up what'd you say?
So many games ago. The man played 33 snaps and had no stats. When I showed you his stat line, it looked just like that whiteboard right there. Nothing.
Let me put something on this screen really quickly. The Charm City Don says the defense is trending in the right direction. Zach Orr grew up quick. It is. It's trending in the right direction. We still have some gaps that we need to fill, namely our linebackers, namely our edge rushers, getting pressure. And if there's ever a time to do it, I thought it was going to be last week against Russell Wilson. I did. I thought this is where Odafe Owe, this is where we're really going to be able to generate pressure, and we did not. Kyle Van Noy, shout out to him. 10.5 sacks, leads our team, still going. But outside of that, outside of Kyle Van Noy, David Ojabo, not been great. He did record some stats, so I give him that. Whereas Odafe Owe struggled a little bit.
Had the pressure on Russell Wilson's interception. He got the pressure. He was bearing down on him.
Yeah, facts. The O's better show up. Ojabo, Owe, they have to. They have to. Because at this point, what are you doing? Why are you not showing up? What's the reason? And don't say it's because they're terrible. What's the reason? Hendo?
Not talented. See, you thought you was slick. You thought because your man got 2.5 sacks versus Pittsburgh the first time, you thought it was going to be a repeat thing. But it's only with the Ravens where they don't get better on the offensive line. The Steelers actually practice to get better, give Russell Wilson better protection, and
you think James? Hey there, James. You think Dean Pease is really the reason that our defense looks better? Hendo, what about you?
No. Swiss Peas was fired for a reason. That man was terrible. Terrible.
He said toddler is growing up. Look, Big Reg, tomorrow, I'm not even going to say that Odafe Owe is going to have 2 sacks because I don't know that that's going to happen. And then I don't want you all to roast me. Yolanda, what happened? Odafe Owe, you said he was. So I'm just going to say tomorrow, Odafe Owe will record a few stats. Let me do that. Yes, come on, Odafe. That's it. We can't go statless two games in a row. Hey there, Sean Coles. And I want to give a huge shout out real quick to all of our channel members. Thank you for being here and thanks for your continued support. Yes, Hendo.
I was going to say, you just gave this man, you picked up his $15 million 5th-year option to say, I hope you get some stats.
How much did we pay Marcus Williams to have a nice seat on the bench?
First season and a half, he played very well. Odafe Owe has yet to play very well.
You didn't answer my question. See, now you're diverting. My question was, how much?
$70 million. Guess what? $70 million. And guess what we're about to do?
$70 million.
Guess what we're about to do after the season? Slash that cost.
I understand all of that. My question was, don't make it seem like Odafe Owe is the only member of this team who is getting some money and not really, and I have to say this gingerly, not having the most productive of seasons. Oh, that sounded good. Wasn't that convincing?
Okay. It wasn't, but let me ask you a question now. What other player on the Baltimore Ravens got a pay raise to not play well? Marcus Williams got his money, played well, and declined. What player didn't play well, but then got a pay bump? If your answer was Odafe Owe, you are 100% correct. I like the way that sounds.
No, we're gonna leave my guy alone until after tomorrow because I have a feeling that Odafe Owe is coming back this game. I don't know why, but he is. We need him to. Okay.
Jay the 6 is my witness. All last season, what do we hear? You just got to give Odafe Owe 5 games and he's going to be right. We got to give Odafe Owe 10 games and he'll be right. We got to get at least week 13, then it carried over to this season. We have 2 games left.
We're going to finish with the preview or what? We're almost done.
Okay, cool, but we have 2 games left. How many more games are we going to wait to say? We just need to wait and see what he's going to do after that.
MDT Sports, I'm not going to say he's trash. I'm not going to say Owe is trash. I'm going to say Owe has been underwhelming. I'll say that.
He's been
underwhelming because I wanted double-digit sacks for this season. Now, he can still achieve it. We have 2 more games. He's 2 sacks away from what I wanted for him for this season. If he gets a sack tomorrow or 2, there you go. So,
I don't think he's underwhelming. He was a project coming out of college.
I knew this was going to go south
to be honest,
quickly.
He was a project. The man had 0 sacks in his senior season, and we took him in the first round as a project. Like, we should be glad for whatever we get out of him.
We take a lot of players as projects or as injured players. What'd you say?
I don't hear you cheerleading for them. Where are your pom-poms?
They are over there today. I'll bring them out. Next time. They're over there. I can't reach them. Wait, the Charm City. Owe is not trash.
I mean, just say you just like him.
I like Owe. I do.
We all have our favorite players.
Okay.
Did they get rid of Chuck? I think they still have Chuck Smith. And he helped Owe get a little bit better.
He did.
He's gotten better. He does more than just run into a guy and stand straight up. He actually
We got
does
to change
all
the
the things.
subject real quick. We're going to move right along to the defensive line, the
No,
interior of the defensive line. And I'm going to answer a question. I saw a question come through earlier and I missed it, but I'm going to go through. Yolanda, why do you love Owe so much? Good question. Never heard your side. Here we go. A couple of years ago, during the offseason, I watched the documentary that the Ravens did about Odafe Owe. And it's on their YouTube channel. You can go find it. Go search for it. It's there. Hopefully it's still there. And I really just appreciated his story, his history, where he grew up, how he grew up, his family. And something about that documentary resonated with me and it stayed with me. And I said, I'm going to be cheering for this number 99 Odafe Owe. And ever since then, like I said, it's been a couple of years that I saw that documentary, maybe 2 years now, maybe even 3. I don't remember. But it was because of that. And I said, wow, I'm going to really root for him. And so there you have it.
one thing to be a fan, another thing to be a fanatic. You can root for him without overstating the fact that he's not good, understating the fact that he's not good.
I
It's a difference. It's a
know, I
difference. It's a
know.
difference. It's a difference. You can like him
I'm
and
talking
root for
about
him.
pride. I'm talking about, Pride by
No,
Urban
you can
Clothes.
tell me.
I know. You're right. I said it earlier. I can't argue 10 and a
34.
half sacks by someone who is much older than Odafe Owe is just not, it's unacceptable. That's why I said for me, underwhelming.
Listen,
Now, if he can get that number up, then we're onto something. But Joe Howard, hi there. Owe was not a technical player in the draft, only a high energy workout warrior.
and a 4-3 that we've never seen in life in a real game.
James said, oh Lord, break out the violins. No,
The
you just
tiny one.
know. Look, I bet all of you, if you've been watching football for any amount of time, I bet, stop it, Hendo, don't indulge James. I bet all of you can say there might be one player who did not do a great job, but for whatever reason, I like them. You can't tell Coach Evans anything about James Prochet.
I love James Prochet. He
I'm just
sucks.
saying.
He sucks. And I love James Prochet. And I wish he has a 10-year career in the NFL. But reality says he's not good.
Yeah. I said, but I gave it, but I gave the realistic answer that, hey, he's been underwhelming for me. So when you mean stop it, I gave a true answer. That's it. I gave a true answer. He's been underwhelming this season. He has. But let's move on to the interior D line because we gotta move on so we can finish up this stream. How long have we been here? We've been here for 57 minutes and 57 seconds. We gotta go. Interior D line, our ability to stop the run.
Yes.
How do you think we are going to do tomorrow?
Very well. Listen, one wide receiver, injured tight end. I think we'll play to stop the run. Joe Mixon, tiny violin though. Joe Mixon is the catalyst of that offense right now. So I think, we sell out, stop the run. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be difficult. Now, Joe Mixon, he can bust some. Don't get me wrong. But I think we'll keep things under wraps, especially if Travis Jones does his thing.
Yep. I think that's the key factor. Travis Jones, absolutely right, MDT Sports and Hendo. Travis Jones is huge because, let's be honest, Nnamdi Madubuike has been less than, I don't want to say he's not productive because he is, but from the type of season that he had last year, we know it was a contract year for him, so he was incentivized last year. There's been a tail off to some degree in Nnamdi's production this year. So it's going to be big for Travis Jones to have a good game tomorrow.
Daniel.
Hi there, Equip Institute. Thank you for being here. That's right. You got to stay positive. I am. What did you say, Hendo? Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel.
I'm not even putting that comment up. Daniel, he is going to get a sack tomorrow. I hope. I hope, because if he doesn't, you guys are going to come for me in the chat in the after stream. It might not even be a stream. It might just be a video. No, because that would make Hendo way too happy not to have to do another stream. So no, but yeah, exactly. I rooted for Prochet as well. So, and to your point, yes, you're right, James. You have to admit when a player is, I'm not going to call them trash, when they're just not great, even though you still like them, you're endeared to them for whatever the reason, you know. Odafe Owe is that for me. He's just not been great, but he's working on it. The interior D line will shine. It will. It's going to have to. And I think, this is the portion of our defense that has carried us so many times when we saw earlier in the season a struggling secondary. Thank goodness we've made some adjustments to personnel and we've made some coaching changes and we're seeing our defense trend in the right direction. So, yeah. Big Woke, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Beeks is just fine. You can't expect interior D linemen to have double-digit sacks each year. Agreed. I know. He should have 7. What were you saying, Hendo?
I can expect double-digit sacks when I pay you $98 million.
Wait, okay. I want to finish reading. Well, okay. So Big Woke spoke to that. He said he should have 7 right now if it weren't for some messy flags. But Big Woke, how many times can we say that there's been a flag or 2 or 3 against a player that was probably for naught? A lot of them. But you still got to know how to produce despite having flags thrown your way, whether they were warranted or not. So, I don't expect him to have double-digit sacks each year. I do. I don't expect that, but certainly want him to be more productive than he's been thus far. That's for sure. So I don't buy into saving it or stashing it until the playoffs. I need to see you demonstrate it all season long leading up to and into the playoffs.
I want mine right now.
Yeah, he needs to step up for sure. Want to say hello to Jared Green. Thank you for being here. He says, everyone have a blessed Christmas. Same to you and your family. I want to know before, he is the highest paid defensive tackle. He is,
You skipped Joey.
I'm going back because I skipped Clyde. I'm going back. Merry Christmas to you, Joey. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, Joey. Always showing love to the channels. Thank you. And guess who else is with us tonight? Clyde is in the building. Thank you for being here, Clyde. Now, really quickly before we go, consensus is that the Ravens should be able to take care of business tomorrow, go in, assert ourselves, dominate, and not have any issues with this Texans team. Go ahead and leave me your score prediction. Who wins tomorrow? Starting with you, Hendo.
Ravens going to win 48-10. Sheen Ali's going to get the last touchdown because he's going to play the whole fourth quarter.
48. You said 40-10? 48-10. This is a very good defense. We have Lamar Jackson. I'm going to go with 30. I don't know. Maybe 30. 37-14 Ravens. There you go. 37-14 Ravens. Let me hear it from you. And do you all agree with Hendo here? 48?
You're going to blow him up.
I don't know. Okay. 41-17. Let's go.
We put up 34 points versus a great Steelers defense, and we were playing with our food. We were playing with our food. Hendo? We were playing with our food. If we really would have concentrated and put a full game together, we could have smashed them like I said we were. But, we played with our food. The Texans aren't quite as consistent as the Steelers are. So, yeah, we're going. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna put up 40 points tomorrow easily. We did that in the playoffs. We put up 41 points in the playoffs. And I think we had like 10, 17, or 10 points in the first half.
Let me write my score down because I always forget. I'm saying 30,
7.
yeah, to 14. I'm going to stick by that. That's my score prediction. I'm going to stick by that. 37-14 Ravens. Does anyone in the chat think that the Texans will win? If you think the Texans are going to win tomorrow, let me know.
Nobody.
I just want to know.
Keith Sweat. Even the Washington Commanders fans don't believe that they're going to win.
Hey, you never know. There could be somebody in here who is a Texans diehard that says, no, my team is going to win.
The Texans fans don't believe their team's going to win.
Listen, I don't know. Look, I don't know.
The way that they played against the Mayonnaise Man and the Tennessee Titans, like they give up leads. Even when they're winning in the fourth quarter, they give up leads. That stout defense gives up leads. So their fans know. Agnes, when they put up 28?
28? Oh. Yeah, nobody says that. So we have everyone with. All right, everyone is taking the Ravens. I like it. Even Mrs. Stout knows the Ravens are going to win. I mean, it should be. Another Jackson 5 tomorrow. It'd be nice. It'd be nice on Christmas, wouldn't it? But personally, I would just rather us get a commanding lead and then sit our quarterback, Lamar Jackson, for a quarter or a quarter and a half. Even if it means no Jackson 5, even if it's 4 touchdowns and we have a strong lead. What'd you say?
Joe Howard, who lose? Oh, the Texans. Got it. Never mind.
See, so that's what I'm saying. Someone says it. I didn't say everybody, but I'm sure if you were to take a poll, someone somewhere is going to say that the Texans are going to win. They're at home. They're going to say their backs against the wall. They're 9-6. They're in the lead in their division. They want to stay in the lead.
They won their division already.
Okay. Oh, they've clinched it. Great. Yeah, good for them.
They're stuck in the 4 seed.
Okay. Well, somebody said that they're going to win. So there's that. There is that. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you. Killer Cam said, we'll end with this. We didn't talk about special teams, but we have to talk about special teams real quick. Concerns about special teams tomorrow, if any. Drop your concerns in the chat. Hendo, what do you think?
Jordan Stout. He's going to shank a punt that's going to lead the points. 4th round pick for a punter.
For a punter who hasn't really been that good.
I just mean the 4th round pick for a punter, period. You find them in free agency all the time. You find them in the last picks of the draft all the time. But no, we got to zag when they zigging and show that we smarter. And now we got to do that in pressure situations, 15-yard punts consistently. Appreciate you, black guys.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Okay. AFC South, shaking my head. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like the AFC East, winning that division and acting like you Big Willie.
Stop it. Yeah, just stay consistent on special teams. This is the area of our team that should be the best portion, if anything, because of John Harbaugh's experience as a special teams guru. We shouldn't have we shouldn't have any problem. That's right. Lamar Jackson said in his press conference, and I saw someone mention it earlier. Lamar said, "Look, I know I'm supposed to be in the locker room at halftime, but this is my first time ever seeing Beyonce in person, perform. So I'm sorry, John Harbaugh. I'm sorry, Harbs. I'm gonna be out there watching Beyonce. So yeah, Beyonce's gonna be there tomorrow.
Just when I thought I couldn't love my quarterback anymore.
I know.
He told John Harbaugh got out there and was like, "What? Beyonce? Who is that? Oh, her? Yeah, haha. She do country, right? Yeah, haha. Yeah, nobody's gonna be watching her during halftime." And Lamar got right up behind him, was like, "I'm gonna be watching Beyonce. I don't know what that dude's talking about." Yeah, much respect. He didn't even fake it. He just said, "I will be watching."
Oh, yeah, he's like, Beyonce? It's my first time ever seeing her in concert, in person. Oh yeah.
Lamar was like, I'm the captain now.
I forgot about Sims. Clot. Thank you. Yes, Sims. We got him like 5 minutes ago. And look, we're in dire straits. Is this another one who's going to come and save the team like Arthur Maillet, Hendo?
No, but Sims, the major head coach, a liar. He said, yeah, Desmond King's going to be called back up. He's going to be returning kicks.
I asked, did anyone in the chat think?
Why did you put Reg's comment up? You know Reg does this just because he does that.
I know. Make sure you guys go over to Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk, subscribe to his channel to get all of his hot takes, is like this one right here, where he believes the Texans are going to win 27-24. It's going to come down to a field goal, and for some reason, Texans are going to be
And that kicker's hurt. Fairbairn's hurt.
Okay.
You know, that's the same dude that thought a cartoon character was going to come and be the starting cornerback for the Ravens out of UCLA.
Yeah.
What?
Well, family, thank you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate it. We will see you back very soon. And by very soon, I mean tomorrow, because we will be live streaming the game tomorrow. So you don't want to miss it, because I am going to be rooting for my guy. You already know it, because I said he's got to get this one sack. So there you go. Make sure you come back tomorrow, hang out with us, and wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hendo,
yes.
Let everyone know where they can find you, what you have going on your channel.
You can find me at The Rogue Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You already know what I got going on, because she makes me do it every night here. But more importantly, being that it's Christmas Day, I have a special treat for everybody out there.
Ooh, I can't wait.
To show appreciation for everybody just rocking out with us all the time, hanging out with us. Like, sometimes we go off the rails and y'all still stick with us. Just for that, tomorrow only, 1 p.m., the Steelers versus the Chiefs. Yolanda will live stream that game, and then I'm going to come in during the Ravens game and join y'all after that. Pow!
You see the bunny? The bunny comes out anytime Hendo goes off on a tangent, which he already has.
The bunny didn't come out. You brought the bunny up. He didn't come out. You brought him up.
The bunny comes out anytime that Hendo goes off on a tangent. So that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you back tomorrow. Remember, always take care of yourselves, stay safe, and never forget, go Ravens.
Coach is a liar.
God bless.